Apple's revenue has been growing by 36.1% every year since 2004. When organized into a table, it is very messy and does not grow consistently each time. In addition, the table shows that the revenue growth increases more and more over time. Thus, we can say that it can be made into an exponential function. The graph shows that the revenue started off growing slowly little by little but picks up speed and exploded at an amazing rate. The equation shows that the growth factor is 1.361. This means that the revenue increases by 36.1% every year. When Steve Jobs died in early October 2011, many Apple users believed Apple's products won't be as good as they once were. In fact, the Apple users were right. Apple released two iPhone 5 models that were almost identical. This led to a mediocre amount of revenue. There was still an increase from the prior year, but compared to the predicted amount based on the exponential pattern, it was disappointing. So what would have happened if Steve Jobs never died? To figure this out, I first found out the exponential function based on the data of 2004 to 2011. By substituting x by 11 in the equation, I figured that if Steve Jobs was still alive and Apple was not disturbed by any other factors, Apple would reach an astounding $383 billion, $150 billion more than which is now. This shows that the change in the decay or growth factor can have a significant long-term impact. The what-if equation has a growth factor that is only 0.04 higher than the original equation. But when substituting 11 to x, you can see that the what-if revenue is 164.3% of the original amount. In 2015, Apple made about $4.5 billion per week. You can see in the table that the linear function increases consistently, whereas an exponential function would increase in an inconsistent amount. In the graph, you can notice that the linear function is drawn in a line, which is very different from the curved exponential function. This is because growth of a linear function is in a consistent rate. In the equation, the dependent variables are placed in different places. The exponential function has a dependent variable in the place of exponents, and in the linear function, the dependent variable is multiplied to 4.5. There is one interesting relationship between these two distinct functions. The relationship is that an exponential function is made up of countless linear functions. Logarithm can be used to figure out the value of x in an exponential equation. I wanted to find out how long it would take for Apple to reach $1 trillion. I moved all the other integers to the other side until a base and x was isolated on one side. Then I used log rules to find the value of x. According to my calculations, it would take approximately 15 years for Apple to reach $1 trillion in revenue sales.
I was born in a thunderstorm. I grew up overnight.